I'm coming to you with a quick informational or tutorial on how I take care of my hair underneath my sew-in as far as washing and conditioning and oiling it. You want to make sure that you take care of your hair underneath. That is very important because you want to have hair outside of your weave. So what I use is a Salon Care leak-proof applicator that I got from Sally's Beauty Supply store. This bottle was, I think, $1.99 or 99¢. And what I do initially is I fill it, the entire 8-ounce bottle up with warm water, and I rinse it twice to loosen up any dirt, oils, anything that's in underneath my sew-in. I try to loosen it up before I start with the shampoo. Then once I rinse it twice, I fill the bottle up with shampoo to about this second line here, and then I fill the rest up with water, shake it up, and then I find the spaces within my sew-in and I apply the shampoo. I try to do it as thorough as possible, and I start from top to back. Normally I'm holding my head back so that it can run all the way back. Then once I thoroughly apply the shampoo, I go ahead and I rinse the shampoo, and I fill this bottle back up to 8 ounces, and I empty the bottle in my head about 2 to 3 times, depending on how much shampoo I used. Normally I do it without a shirt on so I can see what's, running down my neck or running down, my back. So I can see actually what's going on and see, the color, if it's still white like it has shampoo in it, or if it's running down clear, just as if it's water going from back to front. Once I do the shampoo and rinse, then I fill it up with conditioner, and then the rest up with water, shake it up, and then I condition, and I just go through those same spaces throughout my head and make sure it's thoroughly applied. Then once I do the conditioner, I rinse 2 to 3 times by filling the bottle back up to the top and emptying it out in my head, and letting the water run down. Once I do that, I put my hair up in a ponytail, and I go through each track, let each track down, and I blow dry it. I try to make sure it is as dry as possible, and you want to thoroughly dry your hair, because if not, then you can have mold underneath your sew-in, and you definitely don't want that, or you can create some type of odor by not thoroughly washing, conditioning, and rinsing your hair. Once I dry it thoroughly, then I take the oil. I take some oil. Normally I use Dew Grow, but right now I'm using the ORS hair repair, and it's vital oils for hair and scalp. I take that, and this is very loose, so it only takes a little bit. I take it, tip my head back, and then I apply it. I don't use very much because it runs all the way back, and I don't have to worry about any spots not having oil on it because this one runs. Then once I do that, my process is complete. Again, you want to make sure it's thoroughly dried so that you don't have any odor or mildew. I don't recommend that you do it unless you have the time to dry it, especially in the winter months, because if your pores are open, then that could also cause you to get sick if you have to run out after you do this process. And then also you want to make sure that your hair is combed out from root to the ends before you start it, to avoid any type of tangling. And that's pretty much how I keep my hair clean underneath. It has worked out for me. After taking out a sew-in, I haven't had any strong odor, haven't had any mildew, and that's because I properly do this. If I keep a sew-in in for 2 months, I normally do this 1 to 2 times. If I keep a sew-in in about 3 months, then I definitely do this process at least 2 times, sometimes 3, just depending on, what I've done that month, like exercise, sweat a lot. It just depends on my activity. But I don't do much just because I'm a student, so I don't do a lot of sweating. I don't do a lot of, being outside. It's normally home and school for me, so I don't have to do it as often. But you can do it as often as you like, as long as you, take your time and make sure, your process is completely done, thoroughly done, and it's completely dried. So if you have any further questions for me, just leave them below. You can follow my Instagram, wearyourhair_like-a-boss. And I also have other information on there, tips, hair care, and other videos, tutorials. And I'll leave that information in the information box below. And thank you for watching. You guys have a good day.